If current royal dramas just aren't enough to quench your thirst, watch The Crown on Netflix. The show's fourth season focused primarily on the early years of the relationship and marriage between Prince Charles and Princess Diana at the time, as well as a series of political dramas starring Margaret Thatcher. And trust, it made me want more. Luckily, Season 5 is just around the corner, and we're happy to announce that we're introducing an all-new cast. This is somewhat sad news for those of us who are inexplicably drawn to Prince Charles. Here's everything we know about The Crown Season 5. This is technically a spoiler-free zone, but remember, this show is based on what really happened. In real life, Seasons 5 and 6 of The Crown will feature an entirely new cast of actors, most of which have already been cast. In addition to our first look at Dominic West and Elizabeth Debicki as Charles and Diana, here is a photo of the two paparazzi on set. And in other news, Prince William and Kate Middleton have been cast. Deadline first broke the news, revealing newcomer Rufus Camper to play 15-year-old Prince William, followed by Ed McVeigh to play Prince William in his late teens and early adulthood. I played the role of Kate. I mean, too similar for me. However, these actors won't be on the show until Season 6, which doesn't come out this year. Season 5 is this year. Rufus appears in a storyline about how the royal family dealt with the death of Princess Diana, while Ed plays storylines such as when William was in college and when he met Kate. It is also undecided that Prince Harry will play the character. Here's the rest of the cast. Imelda Staunton as Queen Elizabeth, Leslie Manville as Princess Margaret, Jonathan Pryce as Prince Philip. Right before the show aired, Netflix released some very interesting photos of key moments we'll see this season. Interesting note: this big Season 5 trailer may or may not contain the most interesting use of bittersweet symphony as the royal family battles public opinion and internal turmoil. It's exactly the sort of drama you'd expect from the show's 5th season. Will Meghan Markle and Prince Harry be in it? Also, don't expect Season 6 either. Creator Peter Morgan basically because he has a 20-year rule. Meghan and Harry are in the middle of their journey, and I don't know what their journey is or how it will end. One wishes some happiness, but I'm much more comfortable writing about things that happened at least 20 years ago. I sort of have in my head a 20-year rule. That is enough time and enough distance to really understand something, to understand its role, to understand its position, to understand its relevance. Often things that appear absolutely wildly important today are instantly forgotten, and other things have a habit of sticking around and proving to be historically very relevant and long-lasting. What time period will be covered? Each season of The Crown essentially spans a decade, with Season 5 potentially going from the early 90s to the early 90s. And a lot has happened in between. Not only have Prince Andrew and Fergie separated, but Princess Anne and her husband have also separated. And so have Prince Charles and Princess Diana. But most important is the tragic fact that Diana died in 1997 in a car accident. If you've seen The Queen, you may have thought about how the show will deal with Diana's tragic death, as it was written by The Crown creator Peter Morgan. Will this be the final season? No. For a while, Morgan said Season 5 would be The Crown's final hooray, but he changed his mind and decided to renew the show. Morgan told Deadline, "When we were first discussing the storyline for Series 5, it quickly became clear that we should go back to the original plan and do 6 seasons to justify the richness and complexity of the story. Now, to be clear, Series 6 doesn't bring us closer to the present, it just allows us to cover the same period in more detail." Netflix has confirmed that The Crown will be released on November 9th, aka today. It's been a long season, but Morgan told THR it would have been if we hadn't weathered the pandemic. It's a normal schedule for us because what happens is, as you've noticed, we film The Crown into season chunks. So we had Claire Foy for 2 seasons. We've now got Olivia Colman for 2 seasons. And there was a gap year in there in which I frantically do a draft of all the scripts and then I rewrite the scripts and polish the scripts after that, but at least we have a roadmap of where we're going for the 2 seasons. And I said that there was no way that I could possibly do that and be show running the seasons if they were in production. You do need a gap year to get ahead with the writing. The royals are, as ever, spiraling. Ahead of the season, The Telegraph reported that the palace had moved to protect the reputation of King Charles. And with the show spanning 2 months of his reign, the timing couldn't be worse. Meanwhile, This clip from the season got everyone excited when it came out. And while a senior royal source told The Telegraph last month that The Crown is a drama, not a documentary, friends of the king called the show exploitative, and Netflix said people have no concerns about damaging the reputation of. We got some spoilers on the show's final moments. Technically this is season 6 info, but according to The Sun, The Crown will end in 2005 with the wedding of Prince Charles and Duchess Camilla. Is cast as an adult. This is a small but significant change, as it is seen as the beginning of an era focused on Prince William and Harry and their father, a source said. Charles and Camilla's wedding is being treated as the end of a turbulent era in Windsor's history and the beginning of a whole new era.